I'm a dancer in New York City, mainly a modern dancer, and I would say that is one of my main tribes. And I recently went to South Africa, to Cape Town, with one group called Articulate Processes. And we have created a sort of research model together, me and two other girls, other dancers, just kind of continuing our studies and research. And we rotate once a week who is leading the research session or rehearsal. So like I would, for example, plan a 2-hour class for the other two girls on something that I want to research. And so we've been doing that, and we performed together, and we had a friend who is from South Africa, and she invited us over, and so we got on a plane and we went, and when we got there, it was totally different than I thought it was going to be. It's very urban, and everything is gluten-free, and I thought I was going to be eating meat every day and not have many options, but they're very much ahead of their time, even maybe more so than New York is in certain aspects, even though they're apparently a third world country. And we were teaching at the University of Cape Town the first week, and the students there, they don't have any experimental dance, so we were kind of a mini surprise in what we were teaching, and it was mainly improvisation, and the three of us switched off who was leading each day, and then we did a group class at the end, which was really extraordinary. The students really didn't know what it felt like to dance the way that they wanted to, since they're in such a regimented dance schedule. And we asked them questions about what they're interested in their movement, and the teachers said that no one's ever asked them that before. So there was like some really nice. I've never been in a sort of teacher position where I've opened up something for somebody else, and that was very wonderful feeling to have. And we performed and taught adults that were in like the late 20s, 30-year-old contact improv class in this little church, and I think 10 people showed up. The contact improv scene is almost kind of dying there. And they were attracted to way other movement than the other students are. But what was so cool is that we had this big 15-minute improv at the end, and it was almost like we created a monster. Like it was just like crazy movement. Like who would have thought that like 15 people are in this room just like screaming and banging on the floor, or just lying on the floor, or moving in very odd ways that you just don't normally do in your everyday life. And so so that was really very very beautiful, and the dancing was wonderful, and the people I can't stop forgetting that I was like basically in an episode of The L Word the whole time that I was there. The two girls I went with are gay, and the woman our friend that we stayed with is gay and also white and very privileged. And South Africa definitely has a big racial divide between whites and blacks. More obvious than here. Here in America, we try to hide it a little bit, unless you're in the South or something. But in South Africa, there is a mixture in the town, but there's definitely a different like class divide. And I was definitely in one of them and saw one specific one, and definitely learned a lot about the gay community, and I mean, I'm surrounded by the gay community a lot here, but in terms of like the importance to them of just a lot of talking about like how you have to dress a certain way to identify yourself as gay, and like all, you know, I heard everybody's coming out stories, and like this importance of community, which I totally understand. And a big discussion that came up was how there was like a definite block between like the straight community and the gay community, and how the fact that I was a straight woman within this like big gay community group, there was something that I wasn't able to share with them on like a certain level. And so there was this very interesting that I almost sort of preconceived when I went, but didn't, this interesting solo trip, even though I was like with a group. I had a big I had a hard time being in the group. So it was like such a beautiful, everyone there was so beautiful, and we had such an amazing time and saw so many amazing things, but I definitely wanted to like run. When I got off the plane, I was like wanting to do everything in, I don't know, the way I wanted to do them. But it was very interesting. It was good to have other people to show you how you're acting in a group setting. And we had the weekends off, and we were there over Pride, which was really interesting. They had it was a great Pride, and the woman, our friend, is a burlesque dancer, so we were on like the burlesque float. So like everyone was like naked with pasties, and so it was, we almost got caught by the police, which was interesting to have a police encounter. We like snuck into a high school pool at night to go skinny dipping, and then we, like, one of the people that lives there said we were too loud, and they called the police, and so and so the police were like it was like everyone was very angry in a way after it was over, because it was like, oh, so there's the same thing that happens everywhere. There's so much crime, and you're coming here and stopping us because we like climbed a fence to go use a pool. And they were very upset. And luckily, us Americans were like, we don't have our passports on us. Like, what do we do? You know, we just kind of like, yeah, we're playing it cool. And I've never almost gotten arrested before, so that was fun. And now we're back here, and we're still working together, and it's I guess from that trip, and also just lately, it's been interesting to take note of how a lot of things that I do and the projects that I do are very collaborative, and how I almost rely on these people and these certain like mini tribes that I've created to do what I do here, and that has lately felt very unsettling in a very interesting way. And so that idea of like, what is my independence within the dependence on these people, and what would I do if I was actually alone doing what I'm doing, is a question that's popped up, and a question that was definitely there when I was in South Africa. So it's definitely a trip that's still being digested, and New York definitely helps you digest things in a very extreme way, and yeah. It was a very fruitful trip, and so being back here, I guess it feels like a new chapter, and like many things do after a trip. But it didn't feel that way till like a month later. It's been like a month, and now there feels like an impact. So we'll see.